I've been told what to do. Take a trip around the world. Hey, that's right. That's right. Hey, that's right. That's right. That's right. Oh, that's right. That's right, yeah.
Hello, I'm Steve Weber, the host of Beatles Rewind. As always, I'm joined by my co-host and fellow Beatlemaniac, my confidant, Cassandra. Good morning, Cass.
Good morning. Ready to spin some records, metaphorically speaking.
Cass, are you ready to start talking about boys?
Yes, I am. Let's do it.
Okay, so we're looking today at one specific track off the very first album, Please Please Me, from '63. It's Boys.
Ringo's big number on that record. High energy stuff.
Exactly. And the real kicker, the thing people sometimes puzzle over now, is why Ringo sang it exactly as written. You know, a song by a girl group about boys.
Right. Without changing the pronouns.
So for you listening, what we want to do is get into why that happened. It tells you a lot about the early Beatles, doesn't it?
It really does, because the answer, when you dig into it, is actually pretty straightforward. They were a working band. They loved rock and roll.
And they weren't really sweating the small stuff, lyrically speaking, anyway.
Precisely. Overthinking wasn't really in the playbook back then. Not when it came to getting a crowd going.
Okay, so let's set the scene. Where did this song even come from? It wasn't a Lennon-McCartney original, obviously.
No, this was pure American R&B gold, originally by the Shirelles.
Ah, the Shirelles. Will you love me tomorrow? That's Shirelles.
The very same. Boys was actually the B-side to that massive hit in 1960, written by Luther Dixon and Wes Farrell.
A B-side. Wow.
Yeah, but what a B-side. Their version is just, it's fantastic. Really playful, confident, celebrating all the guys, trying to get their attention.
And catchy, I bet.
Oh, incredibly catchy, just pure dance floor energy, which is exactly why the Beatles latched onto it.
Right, because they were basically musical vacuum cleaners back then, weren't they? Hamburg, The Cavern, just absorbing everything.
Totally obsessed. They were digging through crates, listening to everything coming over from America, R&B, rock and roll.
And Boys wasn't the only girl group song they did either, was it?
Not at all. They did the Shirelles' Baby It's You, also on Please Please Me, and the Cookies Chains. They really respected that material.
So, okay, they loved the song, but why Ringo? John and Paul usually took the lead vocals, George got chains. How did Boys end up with the drummer?
Well, practicality, mostly. Think about their live shows. Hours long sometimes.
Right, they needed to spread the load, keep the energy up.
Exactly. Every band member kind of needed their moment in the spotlight. It helped the show's pacing, gave the main singers a breather, and, well, Ringo needed a song to sing.
It kept everyone happy too, probably. Good band chemistry.
For sure. And this wasn't just some random song they threw at him when he joined in August '62.
Ah, right. He had history with it.
He absolutely did. He'd been singing Boys long before he was even a Beatle. Back with Rory Storm and the Hurricanes.
So it was already in his personal set list.
Yeah, he knew it inside out. It was a high-energy number he was comfortable with, something he could really belt out. Road-tested, you could say.
Which makes perfect sense when you think about recording Please Please Me. That whole album, in basically a day. February 11th, 1963.
A marathon session, 13 hours just trying to capture their live act.
No time for messing around or learning new stuff on the spot.
Definitely not. They needed songs everyone could nail quickly. Boys was perfect for Ringo. He knew it cold, it gave him his feature.
And it fit his voice too, didn't it? He wasn't maybe the most technically gifted singer at that point.
He said himself his range was fairly limited. But Boys didn't need subtlety. It needed enthusiasm, power, and great timing, which Ringo had in spades.
Okay, so that explains why Ringo sang it. But it brings us back to the big question. Why didn't they change the lyrics? Or why didn't anyone seem to care back then? A guy singing enthusiastically about boys.
It's funny, isn't it? Because you look through interviews from '63, almost nothing, no controversy, no one really making a big deal of it.
So why not? What was going on?
Well, I think there are a few reasons. First, you gotta remember the context of early rock and roll.
Okay.
Changing pronouns in covers wasn't always standard practice. Sometimes artists just sang the song as it was written. The focus was way more on the feel, the beat, the energy.
Less on making sure the story perfectly matched the singer.
Exactly. Which leads to the second point. The sheer energy of their version.
Pretty frantic.
It really is. Ringo's just going for it, the band's thrashing away. The performance is so intense, the word boys almost stops being about, well, boys. It's just this percussive sound, part of the excitement.
Like the lyrics become secondary to the overall sound and feel.
Pretty much. The vibe trumped the narrative. And third, think about the audience in '63. They expected cover versions. They weren't necessarily analyzing every lyric for biographical accuracy. They were just blown away by this new sound.
The whole Beatlemania thing was just starting to ignite.
Right. And Paul McCartney even talked about it later. He acknowledged it was, a bit odd, a girl's song. But they knew, and they basically decided, so what? It rocked. That was the important thing.
Being true to the spirit of rock and roll, not necessarily the literal word.
That was their authenticity back then.
Okay, but here's the counter-argument. If they were so practical, why not just change boys to girls? Easiest fix ever, right? One syllable swap.
Ugh. But see, this is where their purist streak comes in. They really loved those original records.
They respected the source material.
Deeply. Changing the lyrics might have felt, disrespectful. Like they were messing with a classic. They were covering it because they thought it was brilliant as it was.
Okay, so part respect. Is there more to it?
I think so. And this goes back to the sound, the performance. Think about the actual word, boys.
Okay.
Say it. Boys. It's got that hard B start, then that sharp OYS sound. It really punches through a loud rock and roll arrangement.
Right, it's quite percussive.
Very. Now try girls.
Girls. Yeah, it's softer, starts softer with the G, and the IRLS sound is longer, less punchy.
Exactly. In that noisy, amplified cavern club environment, or even in the studio, boys just cuts through better. It sounds harder, more rock and roll.
So they might have literally just preferred the sound of the original word in the context of their arrangement.
It's very likely. They were musicians obsessed with how things sounded live. Performance kinetics, The attack of the word mattered.
Wow.
Okay.
That's a fascinating angle. Sound over sense, literally.
It shows their commitment to the performance above all else. They'd commit fully, even if the perspective was a bit unusual. It's kind of like their later character songs, in a way.
Like Eleanor Rigby or She's Leaving Home. They weren't singing as themselves.
Right. It's about embodying the song, whatever it takes, and boys needed that punch.
And the recording itself reflects that energy, you said.
Oh, yeah. It was done super fast in that marathon session. The version on the album, it's take one.
Take one? Seriously?
Yep. Raw, immediate, no overdubs messing with that live feel. Just bam! There it is. Ringo giving it everything.
And on the album, where did it sit?
Strategically placed near the end of side one. A real blast of energy to showcase Ringo and remind everyone this was a proper four-piece band.
Did they keep playing it live for long?
For a while, yeah. But it got dropped eventually, around 65, I think. As they wrote more originals, Ringo got songs like Act Naturally, and then, of course, Yellow Submarine.
So Boys served its purpose for that early high-energy phase.
Perfectly. It really sums up those early Beatles, doesn't it? Practical, energetic, totally committed to the music they loved, not worried about how things might look.
It rocked, so they played it. Simple as that.
Fundamentally, yes.
So thinking about this today, it feels like a different world where every lyric gets scrutinized.
It really does. And while artists today, quite rightly, often have to be very thoughtful about messages and perspectives, the story of Boys is kind of refreshing, isn't it?
How so?
Well, it just reminds us that sometimes the sheer joy, the energy, the conviction of a performance can completely blow past the literal meaning of the words.
The performance becomes the message.
Exactly. Back then, for the Beatles and their audience, the message of Boys wasn't about gender. It was about the power and excitement of rock and roll, and everyone understood that loud and clear.
Well, thanks for joining us today. Whenever you feel like knowing more about the Beatles, visit us at BeatlesRewind.com. Every day, we do something new there. Book reviews, song reviews, movie reviews, trivia, all things Beatles. Every day, 8 days a week. You can find us on the website, BeatlesRewind.com. You can subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Amazon Podcasts, practically anywhere. The Beatles, all day, every day. Kaz will do it again tomorrow.
Sounds good. See you then.
Until next time.
When you listen.
Your mind conducts its own symphony.